Here we go with another recipe this week. This week I know I always say I'm dying to make this recipe, but there's so many things I like to make, and this is definitely one of them. Today we're making manicotti. Most people have had this before. It's very simple. We got the board set up this morning. We're going to show you every step of the way like we always do. Excuse me. Over here we're going to show you how to do the sauce, but what we're going to do is we're going to do a very cut down version of the sauce. In other words, I'm not going to keep you guys with me the whole way. What I'll do is I'll post the actual sauce recipe at the end of the video. So if you watched it to the end of the video, I'll put a card up at the end, and that'll be exactly how I make my my sauce recipe, and that's what we're doing here. But you'll see as the video goes on, we'll it's going to be like just, you know, rapid fire kind of thing to get the sauce going here today. All right, I figured to cut down some time on the video. All right, so over here what we got is we got 2 cans of tomato sauce and 1 crushed. Okay, that's the way that we're doing this recipe today. If you watch the other recipe at the end of the video, I use crushed through the whole thing, but you can switch on and off, that's fine. We got some oregano, we got some hot pepper flake, we have 1 onion, 3 cloves of garlic up front. We got some Barilla manicotti shells, which we will we'll show you what we do with those. Not really difficult. This is not a difficult recipe, but it is delicious. Over here I am playing with the cheese again. We got some freshly grated mozzarella cheese. Over here we got 1 15-ounce. I think this is 15, isn't it? 32 ounce. My bad. 32-ounce container of ricotta. This is going to make the mixture along with the mozzarella cheese, and we have some freshly grated Parmesan cheese here and fresh parsley chopped up in front. A little bit of olive oil. There's a couple things on the board you don't see. You're going to need a Ziploc bag because you're going to be putting the mixture in the bag, and then you're going to be piping it inside the shells. Very, very simple. And you're going to need like a 9x13 baking dish. That's it. That's all for this recipe. All right, so let's get on with this recipe. If you guys like what I do, go ahead and put a thumbs up, click the notification bell, share it with your friends, all that good stuff. All right, so on with this recipe. We'll cut up some onions and some garlic, and we'll get making this sauce, and your house is going to smell fantastic. This is perfect for a Christmas dinner. And this is going in the sauce. That's it. Garlic's done. We're going to put 2 cloves of garlic in the sauce. First, oil is all nice and heated up. We're going to throw in our onion, and we're going to let these go until these are translucent. You don't have to get crazy with this. All right, about 2-3 minutes for these, and then we're going to add the garlic in. Okay, our onions are translucent. That means it's time for the garlic. We're going to throw that in. Mix this up a little bit, and then when you smell the garlic getting fragrant, it's time to add something wet to it, which then our sauce will go in at that time. Start smelling the garlic, which means now we got to put something wet on it to stop the cooking process. So we're going to throw in our 1 can of 2 cans of tomato sauce, just like that. And I'm going to rinse the can. We're going to put some water in this. We'll show you exactly what we do next. So I rinsed out my can, all 3 cans, and nice clean can now. I didn't waste nothing. Okay, we're going to give this a little bit of a stir, just like that. Okay, now we're going to go in with pepper, pinch of salt just to get this going. We're going to do some oregano, about maybe a half a tablespoon. We'll write the recipe like I said. Now this is optional. I'm putting some red pepper flake in. You don't have to do this, just for a little bit of kick. Okay, it's totally up to you. We're going to put in some fresh parsley. We're going to put in some Parmesan cheese. I know it looks like a lot, but that's what we got today. Just what I'm in the mood for. So that's how we're making it. It's going to be great. All right. Just like that for now. I'm going to let this cook down. We're going to let it cook for, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 hours. Probably close to 2.5 to 3 hours, I would say. We're going to reduce this sauce a little bit more, get the acidity out of it. And then we're going to be on to making the manicotti, okay? Make the filling now for this. Now, I don't, I personally don't. Some people may disagree, but I don't drain my ricotta. Okay, so if there's a lot of liquid in the bottom, I will not use that though. But I don't drain it through cheesecloth or a strainer or anything like that. Okay, so like we said in the beginning, we got 32 ounces of ricotta. I love this. I don't know what Italian doesn't love it. Okay, so we do got just a little bit of water in the bottom, which we're not, like I said, we're not going to use that. Okay, so that's that. And now here's where the recipe slows down a little bit, just because we need to show how to do this part. Right? Okay, so we're just mixing, just kind of breaking this up a little bit. There, just like that. Okay. And we're going to bring in our mozzarella. We use about a half a pound of this. Now it looks like a lot because it's all, you know, it's shredded and it's fluffy. Okay, but this is how I do it. And I'll tell you, this is going to be awesome. All right, and in here this holds about 1 cup. All right, but I'll put everything in the description below. Make sure you guys click on the description below, because I put chapters down there. I put notes down there if there's things that I forgot. Okay, so this here was probably about 3/4 of a cup that I put in there. We'll see how it goes after I get mixing it up. All right, and then we're going to add some parsley in there. Again, this is about a cup, so that's probably 1/3 of a cup. Okay, and now the only thing we're going to do is we're just going to mix all this in. Now you can put other stuff in this if you want to. Okay, I usually leave my manicotti pretty, you know, pretty, like, just cheese basically is what I like to do. That's just me. Okay, so if you guys want to add sausage to this, I do stuffed shells. If you guys, usually I put meat. I'll put ground up sausage in the mixture for like stuffed shells. Yeah, be a good idea to get your water going. Okay, and this is about it. This is the mixture. Okay, now what we will do just before we're ready to pipe these is we're going to take some of that great sauce there that I made this morning, and we're just going to put like a half a ladle in this. Okay, and what that's going to do is that's going to loosen that up a little bit and then make it a little bit easier to pipe that into the shells. Okay, so as soon as the water starts boiling, get yourself a Ziploc bag too. You're going to need it because you're going to put this in the Ziploc bag, and that's what you're going to use to pipe in the manicotti shells. So our water is now boiling. What we're going to do is we're just going to add a little bit of sea salt in our water, like we do with all of our pastas. And I wound up coming up with about 19 shells. Okay, so we're just going to drop our shells in there. We're hoping that we get them all in this pot, which I do think that we're going to be able to. So we're going to throw all 19 in, just like this. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Plenty of room. We'll take a spoon. We're going to give it a little, just a little stir, just so they don't stick. All right, and we're going to cook these. We're going to cook these for about 7 minutes. There we go, 7 minutes, starting now. Okay, we'll bring you guys back. So the whole thing with this is now is that you got to remember you're going to have these covered in a 9x13 pan, or however many pans that you're going to use to do this. You could use one big one if you want to, that's fine too. But remember, you have to cook these really on the hard side because they're going to finish cooking in the oven. By the time we put the sauce down on the bottom of each pan, the moisture from the sauce is going to get trapped with the aluminum foil on top, and it's going to cook the pasta even more. So if you cook these shells like you would if you were ready to sit down and eat, you're going to have mushy pasta. If you like your pasta like that, go ahead and cook it like that. I don't. So we're going to do 7 minutes with these. We're going to check them, and then if they're okay, I'm going to pull them out. We're going to put them on like a cookie sheet, basically, with some aluminum foil on it. Maybe throw a little olive oil on it so they don't stick, and then we're going to start stuffing them. Okay, so hang in there. We'll be right back, and we'll show you what's up next. What we have here is I just have a cookie sheet, like I said, lined with a little bit of aluminum foil. I did brush a little bit of oil on it. I don't know if you can see the mark in it that I just made, but there's a little bit of olive oil on it. I just brushed it with a brush. The manicotti are almost done. Actually, they're done right now. There we go. We'll cancel that. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to be really careful, and we're going to take these out. We're going to take these out of the water, and we're just going to put them on the cookie sheet too. Now they're still a little, they're still a little bit al dente. That's how we want them, because like I said, they're going to cook off in the oven no matter what. Okay, so we're just going to line these. Like I said, I got about 19 of them. Okay, so we're just going to line these on the cookie sheet, and then we're going to let these cool down, and then we're going to stuff them, and we're going to get them in the oven. We're going to show you how delicious these are. These really are good. This is my Italian side of me, so these always come out fantastic. Now there is different ways to do them. This is just the way I chose to do them today because I thought it would just be a great idea to make these today. All right, so we'll be back with you guys in a couple of minutes once these cool down and we can handle them, because that's the whole idea. We need to pick these up to stuff them. Bring in our cheese mixture that we made just a little bit ago, and we're going to take a little bit of our beautiful sauce there that we made, and this is what I was telling you guys. This is going to loosen it up a little bit, and this is exactly what we want it to do. Okay, now you don't have to put a lot in. You just want to loosen it up a little bit. Don't get crazy with it. I probably used about a quarter of not even a quarter of a cup, maybe an eighth of a cup. Okay, so you just want to get this all mixed in. And what we're looking for here is we're just looking to get this pliable enough that when we put this in the bag, it's going to come out of the bag, with a little bit of ease. Okay, that's the only reason why we're doing this. And it adds a little flavor to, with the sauce. So it adds a little bit of flavor to this mixture. All right, so that's it. That's what we do. That's how I do it. Yeah. All right, that's it. That's our mixture. Now we're going to get this. We're going to get this in the bag. All right, let's pull the bag over. It's a regular Ziploc bag. You guys got a cake bag, a piping bag for pastries and stuff like that. Feel free. Go ahead, use that as well. So this we're just taking this now, and we're just putting it in here. Now I'm not really sure how much or many that this is going to make, but I got 19 of them, so if we can get all those, I'm going to be a very happy guy later on when these come out of the oven. All right, let's scrape our bowl. Let's get the last of this in. Waste not, want not, right? Okay, that's it. That's it. That's how we do this. So we got our. Try to get some of the air out of it. All right, Well, we got to get more air out of it. Get most of the air out of it, at least. Something like that. Okay. And now what we're going to do, when we're ready to pipe those, we're just going to take the corner of the bag like this, and we're just going to cut it with a pair of scissors, and that's how we're going to pipe our shells. Okay? So we'll be right back. We're going to get these in the oven. These are going to be great. Now we're going to get our pan ready. So the first thing I always do anytime I'm baking a pasta of any kind is I guess this is just force of habit. We're just going to put a little bit of sauce on the bottom, and we're just going to kind of do this. That's it. Okay, that's all we need to do, and that'll stop them from sticking. It'll give it a little bit of moisture. It'll cook the pasta the rest of the way, all that good stuff. Okay, we have our mixture. Now I don't know if you guys have the same bags that I got. I'm not a huge fan of these bags because the bottom, you can't get a perfect cut on the bottom. Okay, they're not squared off. The bottom kind of pushes down when you put things in the bag, so they're kind of pleated in the corner here. I am not a fan of that. So if you have these bags, you could very well have a problem with them. But what we're going to do is we're just gonna cut a piece off the corner. I'm going to have to buy other bags to turn around, and we'll see. So say this is kind of the size of the hole you get now right there. Okay, and that's what we're going to use to pipe these in, and we're going to do that. It's going to be very simple. Well, it should be simple, but so we're going to grab a shell, and we're going to, sometimes with these bags, yeah, see these bags, this is what you wind up with, right? You know, you got one side that you have something coming out of, and you also have the other side that you have something coming out of. So you very well may have an issue, a problem with these, okay? So what you basically do is you squeeze the bag, and then that's the piping thing, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out of this bag, and I'm going to actually, let me see if I can find a pastry bag, okay? Yeah, I'm not a fan of these bags at all, okay? We'll be right back. Little technical difficulty here today. So we need to make a change. So we're just doing a Wilton basically frosting bag. Okay, it's going to work. It's going to be perfect. It's not a big deal. We're just going to, it's going to take a little bit more time to do it this way, but that's okay though, because it's still going to come out good, and it's still, so we're just going to take some mixture from in here, and we're just going to stick it in our bag, and this is going to be just so much easier. I don't know if you guys can see that, can you? I said that like you guys were going to answer me just then. Okay, so we're just going to dump it in the bag. Just like that. Put this in here. We're going to pull this up, and then we're just going to take it, and we're going to squeeze this down. Okay, so we're going to put that aside. Sorry about this. I usually am, I don't think it's a preparing thing. I think it's just one of those things where you're like, why the hell did I buy that? I think that's what it is. All right, so here we go. All right, so I already got my end cut. You can see the end is already cut. So we're just going to take this. You can twist it if you want to. It's totally up to you. We're going to put a finger in the end of here, and we're going to put the nozzle in here. And as you push it, you're going to feel it on the other side, okay? And once you get that filled, see what that looks like? See? Once that's filled, you'll be able to feel the pressure in this, okay? And that's it. Like literally, that's it. That's how we're doing this manicotti. So we're just bring our bowl over. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with doing them all. You're probably saying, oh, he's going to do all these. I'm not. Okay? And we're just going to place them just like that on top of the sauce. Gorgeous. We have our manicotti all stuffed. These are beautiful. We got, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We got 11 out of the mixture, okay? I made 19, so I'm 8 short, but hey, that's pasta. We're gonna definitely utilize that. Maybe we'll stuff that with like a meatball mixture or something. Yeah, that actually sounds good. That might be a recipe coming up as well. All right, so this is what we wound up with. So the next thing that we're going to do, well, you don't have to get crazy here, okay? So the only thing that we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of sauce on each one, okay? Just like this. Just a little bit. All right. Kind of spread it around a little bit, and just so there's sauce on it. That's basically it, okay? I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to do that one off camera, but all right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some Parmesan cheese like that. Ooh wee, how beautiful. Okay, and we're going to take some of our mozzarella that we did earlier, and we're going to take this and we're going to put this all over the top of this. Okay, and be generous with this, because you'll see what I'm talking about when they come out. Okay, so that's how we're doing this today. If you want to put another little just dab of sauce on the top, you can do that as well. There's no really right or wrong way of doing it. It's whatever you want. So however you want it to look like when it comes out of the oven is how that's going to look. All right, let's grab my mopping here, and we're going to clean up our rim of our dish. And this is going in the oven, 350 degrees. I'm going to check it probably in about 20 minutes. Okay, I'm going to do the other one here, the other pan, 20 minutes. We'll check it, and we'll check out the pasta. You're just waiting for the cheese to cook and the pasta to cook down just a little bit more, because you remember we did these very al dente. Super quick, I didn't want to forget this. We are going to turn around, and we are going to put a little piece of aluminum foil on it like this, and now we're just going to put these in the oven and check these in 20 minutes. Our manicotti is done. Look at these little gems. Huh? Ooh-wee. Very, very nice. Came out perfect. Look at that. Let's do this for you. I think we should do that. Look at that. Okay, we're going to let these cool down for just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to plate these up. Can't wait for these. It's time to plate. Okay, here we go. You guys that follow me a little bit know that I always put a little sauce down on the plate first. And I'm just going to move that around, make this look nice. Okay, just like that. All right, now we got a bed. We got a bed to, there we go. There we go. Okay. Now we have a little bed of sauce to put our manicotti on. All right. These are going to be so good today. So good. All right. There we go. There's one. I think we're gonna do 3 today. There's 2. And there's 3. Well, what a plate that is, huh? All right, now we're just gonna garnish these up a little bit. We're gonna put a little bit more. We're gonna put a little bit more grated cheese on it, because that's kind of what it calls for, right? And you can always put, if you just want, well, it depends on how you guys basically want to plate these up, but you could always put just a little dash of sauce on the top like that. And then we're gonna just take some of our fresh parsley and we're going to do this. And that's it. That's it. And then if you want, you could always put a couple pieces of nice Italian bread in there. Okay, so there we go, guys. That's it. That's how I make my manicotti, start to finish. Again, if I leave that sauce recipe at the end, you'll know exactly, step by step, very detailed on how I make this sauce. Let's get into this taste test. I got my bread and butter over there on the side. Look, we just want to show you. Look at how beautiful. Homemade, awesome. Been making these for a long time, nice and hot. All right, let's go. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Been waiting all day for these. All right, here we go. I don't think there's anything bad about these. You get the nice little, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but like right here you get the little bit of crispiness from the oven. Oh, I also did put this on, I also did put this under the broiler for about 2 minutes. All right, that's why they kind of look like they do. One more bite. Sauce is fantastic. I love my sauce. I'm partial to it, obviously. They're cheesy. The pasta is cooked really, really to perfection. Like I said, you get that little bit of crunch from the broiler. That's it. And you can't forget our Italian bread. You gotta have a piece of Italian bread with this. Soak up the sauce, right? All right. That's it, guys. That's how I make my manicotti. You guys like this recipe, go ahead and put a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell. Share it with your friends. All the good stuff. You guys know the deal by now. You guys like this, drop a comment down in the comment section below. We always get back to every single person. Again, awesome for Christmas time. Excellent, excellent recipe.